On the show tonight, we've got Scotland's finest, the toast of Ireland, the best of British, and one excited Welshwoman in the audience.
Yakida!
Let's start the show! Welshwoman in the audience, beautifully done. Welcome to the first show of the new year. Hey! Good to be back. Good to be back. Such great guests on tonight's show. I'll be treating them all like royalty. You know, slagging them off in a book, ripping their necklaces and pushing them into a dog bowl. Tensions still high between the royals, but there is a glimmer of hope. Prince Harry insists he's still making preparations for his visit to the UK for the coronation. Oh, there he is, getting ready to have his book shoved up his arse. Let's get some guests on! Later, we'll have music from chart-topping singer Lewis Capaldi. She rose to fame as Sister Michael in the hit show Derry Girls and now stars in the new superhero comedy Extraordinary. It's Siobhán McSweeney! Yay, Siobhán McSweeney! Yay! Hello. Hi. Have a seat, too. He's the star of Grantchester, McMafia and Little Women, now returning for the final time as Tommy Lee Royce in the hit series Happy Valley. It's James Norton, everybody! Hello! Nice to see you! Have a seat, She's the Oscar-nominated, Tony Award-winning star of stage and screen. It's Sophie Okonedo! Hello! Hello, so nice to see everybody. Have a seat. And he's the Irish star from The Fall, The Tourist in Belfast. Always a pleasure to welcome Mr. Jamie Dornan. Hello. So good to see you. Happy New Year. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Oh. They're just grabbing their drinks. There you go. Oh, cup of tea. Nice, Sophie. Welcome all, and Happy New Year and Christmas and all those things.
Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Siobhán.
Happy New Year.
Cheers. Jesus,
They said anything. Rude.
Now, I don't know what any of you did. Well, I know what some of you did for New Year's, because you posted about it. You spent New Year's with Stanley Tucci.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
I recommend that to anyone. It's,
it doesn't look like much fun. That was the image you chose.
How do you think we kept the fire going and all sorts of wine? There's no wine or anything left?
No, there's no wine. There appears to be an unfinished jigsaw.
Oh, I'm not sad that we didn't do a fucking jigsaw on...
You didn't do much of it anyway.
That was his kid.
But also, like, the single candle looks a bit Scrooge, doesn't it?
We had fun, like... It was a good night.
Mind you, that's probably more fun than what James Norton did on New Year's Day. Because
I went swimming in the sea.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Apparently I think you posted a picture. Here you are. Is that post-swim?
That's supposed to... Yeah, I don't know why I always feel the need to open my mouth like that. I always...
Well, it looks like you're having more fun than him. And you've just been in the sea.
Yeah. We were exhilarated. That was... Well, we actually swam every day for a week. We were down in Norfolk, got back this morning, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but I love it.
But apparently that day you were having second thoughts.
Well, no, there was a day... I think it was the day after New Year's Day, and I was getting changed. I was in that sort of awkward position, you know, half changed, and an elderly couple came up behind me and said, "Did I see you on the telly last night?" And I thought, maybe yes, you did. And then the second question was, are you mad? You're not going swimming in the sea, you absolute idiot. And then I was like, well, feeling quite heroic. I was like, yes, I am. And then I went to the waves, and that particular day was horrendous weather, and I didn't know until I got there that it was just this very dangerous thing to do. And then I turned around, and the couple had got their phones out. So it was either, you know, near-death experience or lose face. And, of course, I
Yeah, great. But look at you now. You're
Look at me
back.
now,
Yeah. And Sophie Okonedo, you've just started working. You've just been working with James Norton.
Yeah, but we've been in a film together for quite a few months, but we just met today, just backstage for the first time.
I like it better that way. I don't want to do any face-to-face when I'm acting.
Yeah.
It was one of those weird things, was it? When did we wrap? August. And we just didn't have any scenes together.
No.
But your headshot, you know, they have everyone's in the makeup trailer, everyone's headshot. So I stared at your face for a long time, and then now I'm staring at your face.
But here's the thing, Siobhán, you've worked with both the gentlemen. You've worked with James and Jamie.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I've had 2 people on this couch.
Look out, Sophie. He's coming for you.
And I'm feeling frisky.
So you were in Nowhere Special.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. No, I love that.
No, I know,
film.
I'm very good. Thank you.
Oh, it's a lovely little film. Yeah, no, I was only in it in a day. I mean, I'm surprised if you remember.
My favourite day, of course. It was fun.
Oh, you're good.
It was great.
And then Jamie was your first ever television.
That's right, yeah, in the fall. Yeah, so that was terrifying. And we never actually met as well because you were starting your process there where you didn't like to meet people.
Yeah, that's right. You were playing, it was all quite serious, you were a nurse and...
No, I was a forensics officer. Admittedly, I understand why you would think nurse because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was sort of in the back.
You were carrying a thermometer.
Sort of like, yes, scary, handsome killer. Which one of the cores will he kill next? The read-through, it was just like this sea of dark-headed, beautiful people. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll die. I did not die.
Oh, dear. Now, Jamie Dornan, well, we can only hope your 2023 is as good as your 2022, because what a year it was. The success of Belfast, and of course now the BBC have just revealed that The Tourist was the most watched drama of 2022. I know. Pick it up. That must feel good to be part of a big hit.
Yeah, that's not what you're out there aiming to do, you know, you're trying to hopefully entice people to watch whatever you're in or whatever, but it's not really why you do it, I guess. But when something like that happens and it's gets a lot of attention, and you know, it's just a bonus. It's really nice.
So presumably there's going to be more The Tourist.
Well, there wasn't meant to be, but then that many people watch something, and you know how the world works, Graham. So if there's an appetite for it, and you know, Jack and Harry Williams, who created the show, are very smart fellas, and they've worked out a way of continuing the story. So yeah, we're gonna do some more this year. Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, if you haven't seen The Tourist, the whole thing's available on iPlayer still. But if people hadn't seen it, what's your kind of one-line pitch? How do you describe it to people?
It's a guy. I play a guy. He's introduced to everyone as the man. We don't know a lot about him purposely. He's driving through the Australian outback in this shitty little car, and seems to be quite happy. He's sort of singing along to himself, and the world looks good. And then a massive truck comes and gets in this very intense car chase that goes on for a very long time, and he's hit off the road, and he's unconscious, and he wakes up in hospital, and he's no memory of who he is or why he's in Australia. And little by little, over 6 hours, if you're willing to go the distance, we find out that why he's there, and you find out some pretty nasty things about his past.
Well, we've got a clip. This is you in your little car with that.
Yes.
Hey, come on! That's Kenny. And obviously, that's in the outback where you hear about snakes all the time. Did you have to deal with those?
I didn't see a snake. There was a snake incident on set one day. Someone opened a car, not that car, but one of the cars in it, and there was a snake inside the car that had been, like, staying in there, like a sort of, like, Airbnb type vibe. And, but I wasn't there that day, so I didn't deal with snakes.
But now, here's the thing. Most people, you don't like snakes. Sophie, you like snakes.
I wouldn't like to find one just like that, but I did work with snakes on the stage when I did play Cleopatra. There's a snake at the end, and of the play. It's not a spoiler alert. And I actually thought, well, they were talking about it at the beginning, what we're going to do, about the snake. I said, well, like, I'm not going to bring... After doing a 3.5-hour show, I'm not going to bring a rubber snake out, and it's just going to look bad, so we should just try. We should just try. Everyone laughing. The most serious moment, she kills herself. And, anyway, so we had these real snakes, and I did grow to really love them.
Is that snake looked really dangerous? Is that made up?
No.
Made to look dangerous?
No. They were all poison-free.
No, I'm with James. That looked like a killer.
Yeah.
That looked like a killer.
I didn't have... There was no real mishaps. One night, one got stuck in... Because I'm laying on the floor, like, dead. I know if you haven't seen it, sorry, but laying dead at the end of the play, and one snake... I sort of hold onto it with my hand, and I sort of fall on the floor, and I kind of keep a grip, and then Charmian comes over and takes the snake away, and I was holding onto it, and it slipped out of my hand, and then it went into my wig. Got caught in my wig. But I have to keep still because I'm dead, so I can't suddenly go, excuse me, sorry. But one of the actors came and sort of managed to sort of get it out and sort of pull a pin out and get it out of my wig.
But now, here's the thing. Jamie Dornan, currently you're reunited with Sir Kenneth Branagh because you're in the new Hercule Poirot film. What's it called? The Haunting of Venice.
The Haunting of Venice is what it's called, yeah. A Haunting in Venice, I think.
They should drop that. Let's establish it now. They should really drop the and Haunting in Venice. Yeah. But you're not just back with Kenneth, you're also reunited with your young co-star from Belfast, Jude Hill.
There we are, yeah.
There you are.
It's us, yeah.
And, like, he was so celebrated after Belfast. Is he sort of uncontrollable now that he's in another film?
Well, talk about no eye contact. Get me started on wee Jude Hill there. I actually, like, choke up looking at Jude. Like, I love that boy so much. He's unbelievable. And he's obviously become a monster now. He's so rich. And he got a couple of awards a year ago.
How old is he now?
He's 12. But he turned out he's the sweetest kid. You know, like, I don't know where we all stand on rap gifts at the end of a job, but I'm pretty good about them when I've, you know, liked people.
I didn't get one.
Sophie?
We shouldn't even...
Pineapple even gave me
But on this, I don't know about Haunting of Venice. I just felt like there was a sense that we probably just weren't doing that. We all had an easy up that we shared. Ken does this lovely thing of no actor just goes off to the trailer in downtown. We all sit in an easy up inside a studio together. And then we were on like our final day before Christmas, and I think we'd all sort of had a chat like, don't bother with rap gifts, just, lads, come on. Jude turns up with a Santa sack, honestly, bigger than him. Literally came in like this over his shoulder, starts rummaging through, has got everyone the most individualised. I mean, he got me a deflated football, so I don't know what that... with no pump, like, I don't know what that says about it, but like, he got everyone, like, he really thought it out, you know, and so sweet. So as much as he's like a big star now, he's still the same.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Because James Norton, obviously you worked with a young Irish actor in Nowhere Special, but you worked with children starting out.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes.
You were like a child. You were.
Yes, I was a children's
party.
This follows me, and it was a real period of my life. There were a few moments in my early 20s when I was working as a children's party organizer to get myself financially.
Can I just say that really talks it up? I was a children's party organizer. More balloons, more balloons. Where's the clown? He's late.
I wasn't the clown. People mix up. I wasn't the clown.
You were never the clown.
No, I was never the clown. But there were a few hairy moments around that time in my life, which is a story which often which haunts me, which was basically it was always weekend work, because Saturday and Sunday kids have their parties. Yeah. And Friday night I was, 22, and I'd been out for a, massive, large night. And I was very tired and hadn't slept, and I woke up at about, 9, having gone to bed about 4. And in those days, you got a spreadsheet with the name of the kid, and the number of kids' guests, the name of the host, the parent, their phone number, and the assistant and their phone number. And I was lying on my friend's mum's yoga bench. I remember I was just like, couldn't bear the idea of doing this this party with 50 little... Anyway, called my assistant and said, I'm not sure if I can get through this. Like, I've been out till 4, I'm feeling horrible, these little shits screaming at me. And at the end of this diatribe, I get this pause, and the man's voice goes, sorry, who do you think you're talking to? And I'm like, this is Joe, isn't it? This is my assistant. He's like, no, I'm Mark, I'm the dad. Awful. I know, it was all bad. And then of course I was like, oh my God, I'll give you the best party ever, I'm so sorry. And I turned up, and sweetly, I did give them, I was dripping with sweat, thinking of booze. And I did give them the best party ever, and he tipped me 20 quid at the end.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Oh, God, the horror. Oh, the hanky as well.
Just a reminder that The Tourist is available to watch on BBC iPlayer, and of course we all look forward to season 2. Jamie Dornan, everybody. Very good. Sophie Okonedo returns to the West End stage, playing Medea in Medea at the brand new Soho Place Theatre. It starts on the 17th of February, previews from the 10th. So, obviously, everyone knows the story of Medea, but just in case somebody quick has wandered in... what is Medea about? You are Medea.
It's a comedy, really.
Don't believe her!
It's a play about a woman who has been, I think, treated quite badly and seeks revenge in quite a big way.
Yes, but she goes big.
She goes big with her revenge.
Yeah. And often when I do interview someone in a Greek tragedy, it'll be a new adaptation or a new translation. But this is an old adaptation.
Yeah, we did like a sort of... The director, Dominic Cook, is a really old friend of mine, and he was saying for a few years, I think we should do Medea, and I was like, I don't want to do that part, it's too hard. and then he said, let's do a workshop of it, and about a year ago we did a workshop in it, and we looked at a few versions. We found this version written by an American poet. Oh, my God, the name's just completely gone.
They'll insert
Is he
it.
dead? If he's dead, it doesn't matter. If he's alive, this is pretty eggy.
Come on in.
They'll be Googling it now. They'll be Googling it now.
Robinson Jeffers.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
Can I just compose myself? Right, OK. What I was going to say, let me come to what I was going to say, is we thought about getting a writer in now to do a new version of it, but this was so great in the workshop, and also I was a bit worried about if someone writes you a new version and then they've gone to all that trouble and then you get it through the post and you don't really like it, then you're kind of... I was worried about a new version.
Yes.
And this was great, and it was kind of unusual. It's only ever been done, I think, on Broadway once in the 1940s.
OK.
And so, yeah.
Because once you started working, you kind of haven't stopped working. You've had this extraordinary career, Oscar-nominated for Hotel Rwanda, everything. But it does seem like theatre is the thing you like to do most.
I do like it all, but I couldn't imagine being an actor and not doing the theatre. I couldn't imagine it, because there's something that happens even just when you're in this studio now and you have an audience, and there's a sort of energy that happens between you, the audience, the other actors, and it's kind of magic.
Because, Jamie Dornan, have you ever done a play?
No.
I asked, he answered. Do you fancy it? No.
No, I do. No, I'd love to. I mean, of course, I did like youth theatre, and I did at school, and drama, like, everything back in the day, but not professionally. No, I would love to do it. I'd love to do it. I think after 50 Shades and stuff, a lot of stuff that came theatre-wise was just didn't feel like the right thing to do after.
Yeah.
It was sort of based on the hype of that, and you know, not obviously different subject matter, but like sort of buying into whatever that was.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to avoid, and if it's the right thing, yeah.
Because, Siobhán, you're off to the National, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm doing Dancing at Lunasa.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but...
I did that for Amdram, I was in that. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's a beautiful play. Yeah, no, I started off in theatre, yeah, I recognise completely what you're saying. Yeah, back to the National. I think it's my 6th show now that I'll be doing there.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
It's the worst and best feeling in the world. It really... I mean, you're about to do something as well, aren't you?
This is brilliant. Segue all over.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's
go on.
good.
No, I love
that's
it.
good.
No, and that is it.
You've ruined it, James. You've ruined it. Just gone with it. And then there was beautiful flow. It was all gorgeous, but no. James, you're going to do a play soon. Wow.
I'm doing a play called A Little Life, which is an adaptation of...
The most heartbreaking.
What are you actually?
Yeah.
It's the most.
Yeah.
Broke me. That book broke me.
Yeah.
I'm playing Jude, which is terrifying.
Oh, who else is in it? Hold on, hold
I
on.
feel like there's some spoiler.
That's the list, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, and Eva von Hove is directing it.
Evo's
wow.
adapted and is directing, and Hanya Yanagihara wrote it. She wrote it about 10 years ago, and it's a big, sensational novel. If you've read it, you have a very powerful reaction to it.
And this is not a short play.
No, it is 3.5 maybe hours long, which they did a Dutch production of it, which went from Amsterdam to Edinburgh and did a little run in New York, and that was 4 hours plus. But this is the amazing producers from Wessex Grove have said, you know, it's only 3.5. So I have one interval, but the book is 800 pages, so you know you've got a lot to get through. Yeah,
and not to be like, but for you, 'cause you're diabetic, so that is that difficult to be on stage for that length of time.
The added component is the fact that I don't leave the stage for a couple of hours, and I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I have juice, and I can't bring it up because it's got branding on it, but I have like
Sweet
things
Lots
here,
of stuff down here, yeah.
which I'll have to have scattered around the stage just in case I go hypoglycemic.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
It's just an added thing to kind of navigate. But it's not I mean, for all the type 1 diabetics out there, it does not stop you from doing long 4-hour plays.
Yeah.
Type 1 diabetics are going, oh. I thought that was the perk. And it's one thing now to be in the West End, which, apart from Jamie Warding, but...
I mean, I've heard it's great. Like.
But, so, to win a Tony on Broadway, acting opposite Denzel Washington, I mean, that must have been like a different league. It must have felt amazing.
Yeah, that was... I mean, every time... I mean, my sort of memories I've got over my career, I can always pin... And they usually are theatre jobs. I mean, I can remember when I first worked at the National and cycling over Waterloo Bridge and just like, I've made it. I'm now in a show at the National. I've made it. And then when I got to Broadway, I was like, I remember just going up Broadway and getting to the rehearsal and thinking, I'm done. My work here is done, you know. So
And is that the show that the Obamas came to see?
they did, yeah. That was pretty amazing.
And do they keep that under wraps that they're coming, or...?
To the audience, but I mean, you could know. I mean, literally, there was helicopters circling around, armed guards on every... They blocked off, like, 5 roads around Broadway, so it was pretty obvious that something was happening. They told us about 2 days before, and we had to get to the theatre very early, and we had a guard outside each dressing room, and we were, you know, given a sort of talk and a briefing and stuff like that, and it was... Yeah.
What's the audience like then? Like, I mean, are they looking at the stage at all? Are they just like...
Well, I tell you, what they said is...
Just looking at
There was no one was told, but what they did, they brought all the audience in, and then, just before the curtain went up, they kind of slipped them in. But everybody, and I was, like, behind the curtain, the place went insane.
Wow.
I mean, it's like there was just some people like, flashing cameras, and it took 10, 15 minutes before we could start the show.
Wow.
Because people went insane. And then... He sort of, I think everyone sort of said, you know, we're not going to get the show done. And then they seemed to just go with it. And Raising the Sun is a play, it's about a lot of things, but there's a speech that Denzel Washington's character gives in the middle of it where he talks about, as a black man living in this time in poverty, you know, he cannot dream, he cannot have dreams. You know, he's like a Raisin in the Sun shriveled up.
Yeah.
And then there was, you know, Obama in the fourth row. And
wow.
there was not a dry eye in the house, but, you know...
And you got to meet them, though, didn't you?
Yeah, they came. So normally, if people come round, they come after the show, but because they had to rush off, like, as soon as, like, the show that they were out, you know, for security. So they brought them in the interval. Oh, my God. When you're still in character, darling.
Yes. Now, you're not supposed to film them,
I
are
was
you?
told not to film anything.
But...
I might have handed my phone to someone. It's a one-off moment in my life. Of course. But I wanted to have, like, some evidence.
No, and you got your understudy to do the thing. And you're holding them together. You're very good. So we've sent us the footage. So here we are. So here's Obama backstage. And now he's coming on to you. Look at you. Nice kiss. Yes, nice to meet you. Staying cool, staying cool, stay cool. Did you get it? Did you get it?
That's wonderful.
Well, you never know. He might come and see you in Medea at the new Soho Place Theatre, starting on the 17th of February. Tickets on sale now. Very good. OK.
And it's only an hour and a half.
Only an hour and a half. Diabetics, welcome.
No interval.
Oh, you're in, out. Now, James Norton making lots of people happy this new year because it is the return of Happy Valley. Oh! It continues at 9 o'clock on Sundays on BBC One. And, of course, iPlayer. The first episode aired on New Year's Day. People loved it. I mean, it must have been a huge relief because people have waited. So to come back and everyone love it must be great.
And then 7 years, there's no guarantee that people are going to come back because it's, not many shows leave that amount of space. But Sally, I mean, she wanted to let the actor playing Ryan grow up, be old enough to access Tommy, and also for Catherine to get to that point of retirement. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking because there's no guarantee that anyone's going to want to return after 7 years.
No, because people, I mean, I think a lot of audiences must have just thought, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah.
They talked about season 3, but it's clearly not happening.
I got asked about it a lot, and you felt the appetite was still there, and there was such a love for the show. And such a confidence, I think, after those first 2 series.
So if people didn't see last Sundays, at the start of this season, where do we find Tommy?
So Tommy has spent the last 7 years...
Growing his hair.
Growing his hair and his beard, incarcerated, and... he's a slightly different energy. He's got a different look. Sally likes to give Tommy some bold looks every time.
Yeah.
And he's basically spent the last 7 years obsessing about these 2 kind of poles in his life: the hatred he has for Catherine and the love he has for his son. And those obsessions have become more and more potent, I guess.
Well, listen, we've got an exclusive clip from this Sunday's episode, and this is Tommy encountering the prison chaplain. It is weird talking to you now. You're such a nice, smiley, happy man. Than that, it's. Listen, James. 5 more episodes to go.
Yes.
Someone must die, right?
I mean, talk to the pineapple. I don't know.
And listen, I suppose this is the end. I mean, there is no more. So, is this sad, or are you thinking, thank God, I never have to inhabit Tommy Lee Royce again?
I mean, it's funny because he's a despicable monster, but they become, really enticing and they become these weird sort of distant friends who you love seeing again. And to be honest, I've been asked a lot, like, is it really horrible playing Tommy? Do you find it hard to shake it? And I love playing it. I mean, like, that scene, that guy was built like a monster. He was a gymnast. And I got to walk up to him and just, like, and also, I care about what people think. We all do. Actors are horribly neurotic. And that guy doesn't give a shit. He literally walks through the world, does not care.
Yeah.
So there are parts of it. I'll miss Tommy, I'll miss the show. I mean, there are other parts of it which have been... I mean, when it comes out, there's a lot of... the people get quite into it. There's a whole other element. A lady grabbed me and sort of screamed at me and said, "You're a monster," and sort of people start to become a possession. What I found a brilliant one recently. Someone sent me a grab of someone said, "Oh, Tommy Lee Royce, he makes my valley happy," which I thought was. That was brilliant.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I meant it as a compliment.
Well, a reminder, the final series of Happy Valley continues on Sundays at 9 o'clock on BBC One and, of course, on the iPlayer. James Norton, very good. Now, we have a very different show from Siobhán. Extraordinary lands on Disney Plus from the 25th of January. And it's a brand new comedy, and it's about superheroes, right?
Yes, but not in a sort of Lycra and Marvel and X-ray eyes. As disappointed as you will be in me not being in Lycra.
No Lycra.
No Lycra. I did ask. No, it's more of a comedy, and it happens to be in a world where there are superpowers, but
like lots of superpowers.
Lots of superpowers. So it's set in a sort of contemporary London where when you hit 18, and this may sound familiar, when you hit 18, you develop a superpower. It's primarily a comedy which places... so my daughter in it, who turns 25, her power hasn't come in yet. So it's that whole idea of, like, when you're in your early 20s and you don't know who you are and you feel like a loser and everybody else is, you know, they know what their mission in life is and you're going around the place, you know, just happy to be there. And it's sort of the framework where you can explore those things, but, you know, it's very, very identifiable.
And what's your superpower?
My superpower, Mary, her mother, is that I can work technology, but just because...
The bar's quite low.
Obviously, my work with a toaster has sort of...
Look, we've got a clip. This is you not being quite able to handle your superpowers. He's good.
It's good.
You're good.
Oh, my God, you know the way though. Is it good? Yeah, okay. I'm actually...
Yeah.
Can I just say, everyone should do that after clips. Turn to the audience and go, is it good? Listen, we must remind everybody that the Great Pottery Throwdown returns this Sunday on Channel 4 at 7:45.
Yeah, it looks like I'm in prison.
They're considering you for parole. Now, they've had to... Apparently, the Potters were having a problem with you.
Look, I love it so much. As an actor, you always have your in-between gig, you know? And I call this the best in-between job ever. It's the best job ever. I adore it. And I don't feel, and then people would agree, like a presenter in it. I feel like a viewer. So I just get far too excited. But anyway, the upshot is that... they have to distract me and keep me occupied, so they literally developed, like, pottery daycare for me.
Well, they really did. We've got a picture of you in your pottery daycare.
Yeah, I mean, I'm infantilised a lot there. I love it. They feed me, they dress me, it's the whole thing.
Now, James Norton, are you a pottery fan?
I went to a pottery class, you know, one of those ones where you, like, can do a bowl and bring a bottle of wine, and I went with my partner and everyone else was having, like, just getting drunk and making dicks. And I was a real goody-goody and made a really beautiful bowl and didn't really quite... Well, I mean, I thought it was beautiful. It was probably a piece of shit, but I didn't really get the idea. It was meant to be a party pottery thing. And
OK,
I was like,
yeah. Because, but Sophie, you do like pottery.
Oh, yeah, but I can't do it. I just like buying it.
OK.
She likes mugs.
I like... No, I do like a mug, actually.
Yeah, it's a lovely mug.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I'm somewhere new, I tend to try and find a little cup.
Nice.
So I have lots of little cups in my...
But now, here's the weird thing. Jamie Dornan, you do know about pottery.
Oh, everything, yeah.
No, but you have potted.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Yes, that is what it's called. From the verb to pot.
I've done a wee bit of it. Oh, yeah, like twice. Yeah, I've done. Yeah.
But in America, oddly.
In LA, of all places, yeah. Back in the day when I was living with Eddie Redmayne at the time. This is 15 years ago now. And we went and potted.
And now you didn't remember Eddie Redmayne found this picture of you doing pottery.
I texted him today because I knew you were bringing it up. So I said, mate, do you have anything of that time? He found one picture, which I imagine you're gonna.
Yeah, no, this is you. This is you. Now here's the thing.
I've got a couple of things to say.
Okay. So do I. We all do.
Let me kick it off. I was going for an unforgivable hat phase in my mid-20s, and at one point landed on like Oktoberfest Bavarian. I don't know what that is. It's terrible. I look like I've been caught not doing pottery, but wearing that hat. I think. You know, I look miserable. I was having fun.
Sophie, apparently that's a theme.
Yeah.
Sophie, what do you want to say about it?
Well, I was just thinking, it's not really like a pottery place, is it? It's more like...
Give me a break.
Well, no, it's like one of those places where they have them all in white and you just pick something and you paint it, like with children.
Well, I did say it was called Paint-A-Pot. I didn't... Do you want to know something really embarrassing about that period of my life? I was in New York.
We can see that.
We do.
I was in New York around that time, probably a couple of years before, 2006, let's say. And a friend of mine who's a movie producer had this her kid's birthday party, and her kid was turning 13, and they had like, you know, like Upper East Side, like well-to-do, whatever. James organised it. Yeah. And she said, look, Taylor would love it if you just popped in, whatever. It's fancy dress, but do not feel the need. I was like, yeah, grand, whatever, I'll pop in. A load of 13-year-olds. I went by myself, all these 13-year-old kids, all in really elaborate fancy dress. I got talking to these two young kids. One was dressed as like Dracula, and one was dressed as something else. And I was talking to them for a bit, and they went, it was my hat face, so I was wearing like a trilby or something. And the guy went to me, oh, cool, Justin Timberlake, cool. And I was like, I'm not. I'm not actually in fancy dress like that. I'm actually going to meet my mates for pints. And that was genuinely the last time I ever, apart from that time.
Just a reminder to everyone, Siobhán's new show, Extraordinary, launches on Disney Plus on the 25th of January. Thank you very much, Sean. Right, it is time for music. The Scottish star holds the record for the UK's most streamed song of all time. And now, after 3 years, he's back with an album due in May. Here he is to perform his latest single, Pointless. Please welcome Lewis Capaldi! So beautiful. Lewis Capaldi, everybody! And Kieran at the keyboard. Yeah, come on, overdue! Hello, sir. Lovely to see you. Happy New Year. Come in. That's Siobhán, and James, and Sophie, and Jamie. Hello. Very good. Hello. How you doing? Sit down, sit down. The show's nearly over. The show's nearly over. How are you? Thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you. I must apologise. And all the excitement walking over with the chairs, I may have farted slightly.
That was Pointless. You can buy the single now. Pre-order the new album, Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent. And I noticed in the time that you've been away, you've been writing with other people.
I have. I've written songs for other people. Most of them have been tragic failures.
Oh, OK. Yeah. Is that why you don't credit yourself as Lewis Capaldi?
I don't put my name on them just in case they're absolute fucking duds.
By Jamie Dornan.
Yeah, so I use pseudonyms.
Oh, yeah.
Pseudonyms, which means fake name. Is something I only learned this year. So, yeah, I use two pseudonyms, usually. One in Scotland. If you go for a shite, you go for a jobby. That's what it means. So one of them I use is Anita Jobby. Thank you. And the other one is Suka Fat One.
I think I meant to keep them secret.
Yeah, I make them secret. But I think when you look at me, you think, suck a fat one.
But these are actual credits on songs now.
Yeah, there's one by Kygo and Dean Lewis that came out. That one actually did well, so... Fuck, actually, I've just called them all duds and now that no, Kygo and Dean Lewis, that one did very well.
And Anita Jobby wrote that one.
Anita Jobby, yeah. Suka Fat One's yet to have any cuts, but I'm really holding out hope. So any budding artists out there that want to suck a fat one, give me a call. We all know how you get ahead in this business.
What's the story, Lewis? Now, have you worked with Jamie Dornan?
No, so what happened was, that song, Pointless,
yeah,
was supposed to be my first single. Oh. Right? And I reached out to Jamie, handsome guy, as we can all agree. Yeah.
That was a bit slow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was a bit like, oh, yeah. We've just seen him in a hat. He's lost his allure.
Actually, but we've never met before. No. So it's weird to see you, because I'm used to seeing you like 50 Shades of Grey. So it's weird... All right. It's weird seeing you, like, here, without, like, a whip in your hand.
Yes.
And me... me without my cock in mine.
I like you. Listen, Lewis, it's great to have you back in the world. Oh, is that the time? Good luck with everything. Lewis Capaldi, everybody. Okay, that really is nearly all the time for a boom. We just got a quick visit, the first visit of the year, indeed, to the big red chair. Let's find out who's there. Hello, sir.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, what's your name?
Carl.
Carl, lovely. And you seem nervous, Carl. Relax.
I'm a bit.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good. Where are you from, Carl?
I'm from Northern Ireland, near Portrush.
Okay. Near Portrush, near Portrush.
Oh, okay.
Carl, off you go with your story.
So whenever I was fresh out of university, I worked in a small regional office. And one day, one of my friends, who I'm quite close with, I play football with and go out with, he was walking towards the toilets. And I thought, I'll go in and wind him up. And I took my eye off the ball, and he must have doubled back on himself. And so I get up, I go to the toilets, and I walk in, and one of the cubicle doors is closed. So I walk into the other cubicle, and I slide my foot in to play like cubicle footsie as a joke. And I put it in, there's no reaction. So I think, oh, I didn't see it, and I slide it in further, and I touch his foot, and the guy just pulls his foot away. And I was like, oh shit, it's not him. So next thing, the door opens, and I lock my door. You know, I say, oh God, and I sit in the seat and I pull my shoes up. And I just sit there, and there's a bit of a silence. And then after a while, the guy leaves, and I just sit in there for about 2 hours. And I get people come and go, and I think I'm not coming out. And then the next day, 2 days later, I was in the kitchen, and I was chatting to this guy. He's one of the really high-up bosses. And he's chatting to me, and next thing he just looks down at my shoes. That's when I realised.
That's a good story. You can walk. You can walk. Go on, Carl. Walk. Sweet. Sweet story. Yeah. Nothing too awful happened. It was nice. That really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in the red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website with this their address. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests tonight. Lewis Capaldi! Siobhán McSweeney! James Norton! Sophie Okonedo! And Miss Jamie Dornan! Join me next week with pop star Ray, comedian Alan Carr, West End legend Beverly Knight, Hollywood actor Margot Robbie, and double Oscar-winning great Kate Blanchett. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!